disclaimer to start off. I got these two books mixed up in the last one, and I didn't realize until a couple hours after I uploaded everything. So if I was saying this name, I meant this name, and if I was saying this name, I meant this name. Don't really know what was going on up here, but it didn't sound right when I was saying it anyways, and I just couldn't figure it out. I'm sorry. Anyways, today we're going to be doing a little book club over Electric Idol. So, to start off, genre of this book, fairy tale, again, Greek mythology, contemporary romance, fantasy. This book talks about Psyche and Eros. You know, Greek mythology. She pretty much, like Katee Robert, she pretty much sticks to who those people are, as far as like what they're the god or goddess of, and then she puts her own little twist on it. This book wasn't really for me. It's not my type of romance I like. It was very sweet, and I do enjoy Katee Robert, like how she writes and everything. So I did appreciate the book. I just don't think I would ever, I don't know, unless I was rereading the series, I don't think I would ever look through this again. It just wasn't, or if I was trying to see how their connection rose. I just don't think this type of love is like my thing. It didn't really intrigue me much. There was a lot of drama in this book also, which I did like the drama part. It was nice. It always keeps you intrigued and everything. And it was different in a way from Persephone and Hades drama. So I did appreciate that. Okay, my emotional experience reading this book, I was pretty much like, oh, okay. Why? Okay. Aw. Oh. Okay. What? Oh, okay. Alrighty, okay. That's exactly how it went. I was like, why is she doing this? Why are they doing this? Damn. That was a good opportunity. But it wasn't meant for her. They're cute together. His mom is crazy. She is crazy. Crazy. And then it all kind of finishes it up, and I didn't understand why it ended like that until I read that book, and I was like, oh, gotcha. So that was my emotional experience. It was mostly just shock, and I mean, just like the lack of like, it was messy, but then it's fine because it worked out, you know. Let's see, tropes in this, we have fake relationship, marriage of convenience, I wouldn't say girl next door, but she's very popular in this city, and like her social media platform is popping and everything. So I don't really know where you would put that, but it is important for the story. So yeah, meaningful moments. So I think it was really meaningful in this book when he showed her, again, big grumpy man, and he's dark, he's angry, he's scary, okay? He's scary. And then he just takes you to this little bar in this little art village, and you just kind of sit and chat, and you're wearing a sweater, and you're just laughing with your husband, and it's cute. And it's weird because they get to know each other after marriage. Like, their marriage starts off purely because there's like a little mishap. Totally could have been dealt with. In a different way. And then so they get married, and then things get dramatic very, very quickly. But it was basically they got married because they found each other attractive, which she didn't know that because apparently she's a little chubby and he's like ripped, but more cushion. So, yeah, so I liked when he showed her the art village, and then it's also they went to her house and she lived with her mom and everything and her sisters, and to get some of her stuff, and he goes into her room and it is a wreck. It is messy, it is full of things, it is wild. And then he just kind of gets an insight about her, and they're observing each other. They want to know what they like. They want to know how they like their pancakes and everything like that. And he even mentions how he's like, she definitely does not use her room for her social media. And it's true. But also in his house, she gets to redo it, which is great because he's just like, I live here because it's a place to sleep. And yeah. And then she's like, well, I'm living here, so I'm gonna make it cute. He's like, that's great, except you're getting this bedroom and you're not gonna make this one dirty. She's like, I can do that. It's fine. But he gives her her own space. It's cuter than that. That's just a rundown. But he knows that that's how she is, and he accepts that. So pretty much he's just like, okay, that's fine. There's also this scene in a garage, and it's funny because I follow this person on Instagram and they live in Atlanta, and something like happened with one of the cars in their garage, and it just like, I don't know, it made me think of this book immediately. And I was like, oh my gosh, so dramatic. But if you read it, it wasn't exactly like that. I was just over dramatizing that event in my head because I read this book. It kind of is like 50 Shades of Grey type of city life, the friends that they go to, the parties that they go to, the parking garages. There's a lot of parking garages. There's a lot of being in a car in this book. I don't know. It adds to the drama, for sure. It makes it more secretive, more like they're like spies, but they're not. Yeah. And then as far as his mom being cuckoo goes, I didn't understand why she was needing to be this crazy in this book until I read the next one, because it opens up a space for more characters to develop, I guess. And it ties everything together for these people, the main characters, and who they love as well. Because, you want a good life for yourself, but you also want a good life for people that you love. And I also like that they end up together because of Callisto. I really, really like how she ended up with who she ended up with. It just made sense, okay? It made sense. That's all I gotta say. Plus, she's like she's a baddie, okay? She's a little scary, and honestly, you gotta be a little scary for who she ended up with. Anyways, yeah, so that was my emotional experience. Quotes. No specific quote stuck out to me, but this, like, the talk about, like, being a monster. Eros is basically a hitman in this, and he works for his mother, and he's controlled by his mother, and he he manipulates people. He doesn't have a moral compass on who he kills and who he doesn't until, obviously, Psyche. So, he's just like, I don't know why you love me, because you're so beautiful. And he romanticizes her whenever she's doing anything. There's a scene where she's setting up for a picture of them in like bed, and she's just like framing it and posing it for social media, and he's just in awe because he was like, this is just such a simple thing, and it was a good moment, and she managed to capture not only like the moment but also like the feeling of the moment too in the picture, and he just loves that about her. So he just talks about her like him being a monster, and him not understanding why she would want him. And then she is basically like, I'm just this little quiet influencer, and I'm chubby, and your mother is Aphrodite, and I do not fit that standard whatsoever, and you are the hottest person in this whole city. Why do you want me? I just like how they go back and forth about that. Like it actually matters. I mean, I feel like they were using it as an excuse to not allow themselves to dive deeper into their feelings so soon, I guess. But they did find each other both very attractive from the beginning. So, there is another part of this book that I think is really, really sweet and touching because it matters to me personally and like my real life. Okay, so there's this one scene where they're at Demeter's house, and it's Persephone and Psyche and Callisto and Eurydice, and then Hades and Eros are there because they're the husbands, they're part of the family, they go to family dinner. And in the first book, Demeter makes kind of a deal with Hades to use his scary dog clout to add to her scary dog clout. But she's probably making that connection with Eros as well. But they are just such like a home unit, all the women together cooking and then the men just kind of watching. It's like, I don't know, I really, really like how the men just romanticize the women, because it's not like just about the intimate part, it's about who they are and how graceful they are, and yeah, how beautiful they are, but it's also about their personality and a feeling of home, because Eros and Hades don't have a great family. Like, his mom is crazy, and Hades' parents, you know, weren't there, but that wasn't his choice, for sure. That part really touched my heart. But I gave this 3 stars, just because it's not my type of romance, I suppose. There's the spice rating out of this one, I really didn't get a lot of like spicy spice. It wasn't anything crazy. This was more tame. This was definitely a more tame book. It didn't need to be any spicier because of all the other drama in it, but also, you know, Eros, he is the most attractive person in the city. He's built like a god, whatever. But we get it, okay? We get it. We know he has some talent, okay? We get it. So we didn't need that in this book. One thing I didn't mention in the other book, or in this book, through this whole little book club review thing, is Hermes. I love that character. She adds so much drama and fun And honestly, it's a nice little distraction from whatever is going on. You know, when she's popping up, she's either going to make a dramatic moment dull, or a dull moment more dramatic. So I love when she pops up in these books. I really, really do recommend these. I know I'm like spilling all of the tea and how, like, who ends up with who and all this stuff, but it's really not that. Like, I'm not spilling too much. You're missing a lot, okay? You're missing so much. So this is the end of this review. I know I didn't have a lot more to say about this book, but it's honestly just because it wasn't something I would probably pick up again, I guess. Yeah, next book review is actually going to be Wicked Beauty this time. Sorry about that, by the way. Yeah, and then I think I'm gonna do another book of Katee Robert that I read, just because it's not part of this series, but it's the same author. So I'm going to review that book compared to all of these. So thank you for letting me annoy you again today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below your favorite part of this book, or if you had a different point of view than I did reading it. Just because I know everybody reads the same book, but they see it differently. So comment down below those things, and I feel like the next book I'm going to have more to say about. So that should be a little bit more exciting for you guys. Anyways, have a good day.